Alright, what's up? So, today I'm going to be talking about Big Sean's new song called Control, and I'm going to be talking about how it relates to the concept of competition in hip hop. So, basically, if you don't know, Big Sean dropped this song yesterday called Control. It's got Kendrick Lamar and Jay Electronica on it. And long story short, the whole internet is going absolutely insane over Kendrick's verse. Now, this is because in his verse, Kendrick made some huge claims, which are, most people feel at this point are pretty warranted. He claimed that he was the king of New York. He claimed that he was one of the greatest of all time, along with Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem, and Andre 3000. And he also, which this is the thing that's really getting people going, he made a list of rappers, and he called them all out. He says, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you. I'm trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you. Calls out J. Cole, Big Crit, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mill, ASAP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electronica, Tyler the Creator, and Mac Miller in this verse. So yeah, everybody's going insane over that. Personally, I don't think that this is one of Kendrick's even like top 5 verses. Now, that's not to say this is a bad verse. It's a great verse. That just speaks volumes to how great Kendrick has been over the past couple of years. I do think this is, to date, his most significant verse in that it might actually have some sort of lasting impact later on down the road, but I'm going to get to that later. So basically, what Kendrick was trying to do, calling out all these rappers, making all these claims, he's trying to light a fire under everybody's asses. Not too many people would argue that the past few years in mainstream hip hop, you know, mainstream hip hop's been kind of watered down. Although I do think it's been getting better the past year, couple of years or so, but it's not where it needs to be. Um, and he's basically trying to introduce a new sense of competition into the rap game, trying to make everybody want to be better than the next guy rather than worrying about all these, extracurricular things, all these stupid little, reality shows or doing this or getting the Pepsi deal or whatever. He's trying to get people to focus on the actual music that they make. Now, what people aren't talking about as much as I thought they might is Kendrick's claim that he is the king of New York. Now, they're probably not going too crazy about it because, there's no one really that can question that. But, damn, I think that kind of speaks to the lack of competition in hip hop. Think back to like the 90s where the competition was at an all-time high, even probably to a dangerous point, but that's a different video. I don't think that claim should be taken lightly whatsoever. Any rapper in New York should, they should be furious right now. Like I said, back in the 90s, some guy from Compton says, I'm the king of New York. All bets are off at that point. Now, it doesn't seem like that many people really give a damn, which is a problem. Now, I heard Joey Badass, he's ranting and raving on Twitter, whatever. He's doing, stupid 19, 18-year-old shit, however old he is. So yeah, if I was a rapper in New York, I would be especially furious because, he's basically calling you out and saying, I'm not even from where you are, and I'm the king of your town. And I think any rapper with a decent sense of pride would say, hold up, man, look, I ain't gonna let you come in and say that shit, and not get away with it. I think the rappers that he named, although he didn't express any, ill intention, I think they should be pissed off too. It's basically Kendrick saying, I'm better than you guys, and he is. There's nobody touching Kendrick right now. But if I was any of these 11 guys that he named, you know, I would be furious. I'd feel like I just got slapped in the face. And hopefully, there's actual music that comes out of this, out of being called out of not being called out, which, shit, that's even worse than dudes that did get called out. If you didn't get called out, then he didn't even feel like, you're going to make an impact on the game either way. But I feel like this verse, the song, we could look back on this in like a year and say, that really is the point where rappers kind of began to motivate themselves, began to start competing more, which competition is always great for the consumer. It was the point where people started taking pride in what they were doing. Or on the flip side of that, we could look back and say, well, damn, it was a great verse, it was a great song, but it didn't really change anything. Kendrick, what he was saying was true, but it was all kind of in vain. I think for that not to happen, these rappers must really take this personally, which I don't think there's anything wrong with them doing that. I don't think that'd be them being sensitive. I think that's them being competitive and, having pride in themselves. And I think it's also up to the fans to, support the artists that they do like, that they do feel are good representatives for the genre of hip hop, and trying their best to get them out in the forefront, buying their things, buying their albums, buying a t-shirt, going to a show, you know, doing whatever just to support their favorite artist. I kind of got the impression listening to this verse that Kendrick is getting kind of lonely at the top, almost, which is kind of probably true. So I think these rappers really need to take that personally. I think these fans, I think it's perfectly okay if you're a fan of, whoever that he called out or he didn't call out. I think that's great that you're upset. But if you are upset, be upset in a constructive way. Don't just go on Twitter and bitch. That's I fucking can't stand that shit. Rappers get on Twitter and they beef. I mean, when the fuck did that become cool? Why didn't music ever come out of that? But that's beside the point. So yeah, basically, I just wanted to say, I think this could be very good for hip hop. I think Kendrick is the right guy to deliver this message, to light a fire under everybody's asses. Also, kind of as a postscript, I just wanted to say Jay Electronica was on here. This is his second verse in a couple months, so hopefully this means we're gonna get some music from Act 2 soon, which is his album coming out. So one can only hope. All right, guys. So thanks for watching.